The President of the United States and top congressional leaders in both parties are now working to avert what they say would be an economic disaster for the country. A strike by the more than 100,000 workers on American railroads. Yesterday, Joe Biden called for Congress to immediately pass legislation which would impose a tentative agreement that some of the rail worker unions have already rejected. A deal which would leave paid sick leave, which they've been asking for a while, off the table. Biden, in defending his decision, says, quote, "Let me be clear, a rail shutdown would devastate our economy. Without freight rail, many U.S. industries would shut down. My economic advisors report that as many as 765,000 Americans, many union workers themselves, could be put out of work in the first 2 weeks alone. Communities could lose access to chemicals necessary to ensure clean drinking water. Farms and ranches across the country could be unable to feed their livestock." He goes on to say, "As a proud pro-labor president, I am reluctant to override the ratification procedures and the views of those who voted against the agreement. But in this case, where the economic impact of a shutdown would hurt millions of other working people and families, I believe Congress must use its powers to adopt this deal." Senator Bernie Sanders, independent Vermont, says he intends to block the bill until there is a vote on adding paid sick leave, and he joins me now. Senator, first off, what powers does the Senate have, Congress have, in terms of this deal? Could you just put paid sick leave into the deal? Can you mandate paid sick leave as a matter of just a congressional law?
Yes. In this instance, as a result of long-standing legislation, Congress has the power to come up with an agreement in order to protect the American economy. And the president is right. The economy would be hurt by a strike. I don't know that anybody wants to see a strike. But here is the bottom line. The bottom line is that the American people and workers throughout this country are profoundly disgusted by the kind of corporate greed that we are seeing. Everybody knows billionaires are getting richer, working people are struggling, corporate profits are at an all-time high, and they're raising prices to make goods unaffordable for ordinary Americans. That's the overall reality. And what you're seeing in the rail industry is that whole phenomena in spades. Chris, in the last 3 quarters of this year alone, the railroad industry made $21 billion in profits, provided $25 billion in stock buybacks and dividends, and they are paying their CEOs, in some cases, $14 million a year, $10 million a year, $20 million a year, whatever it may be. Meanwhile, for workers on the railroads, they have zero, underlined zero, guaranteed sick leave. In other words, somebody comes down with COVID tomorrow. They're going to get penalized because they don't come into work. Somebody is having a baby, can't go to their wife's side. So what we are fighting for, and I think we stand a reasonable chance to succeed, is to take the agreement that the President and Labor Secretary negotiated and add 7 days of paid sick leave, guaranteed sick leave to that. And what I'm hearing is not only is that going to be taken up in the House tomorrow, I'm hearing that there's strong, or at least some, Republican support for it in the Senate.
So there's a Dear Colleague letter out from Speaker Pelosi about the votes tomorrow, and they're saying there will be 2 votes. A vote on the deal, a vote on 7 days paid sick leave. So then I guess the question becomes, it comes to the Senate. I assume Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will probably have 2 votes. Can you get 10 Republicans? You got Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, basically all but singing the Internationale tongue-in-cheek because they're doing it in a kind of trolling fashion. I thought you would appreciate that, Senator. Yes. But can you get 10 votes from them on this?
Well, who knows? John Cornyn, who's, I guess, the deputy whip or the whip of the Republican Party, said in their caucus today that there was, I think the wording, significant support for the Sanders proposal. So I hope that we can. Look, you have a number of Republicans who claim to be supporters of the working class. Well, if you are a supporter of the working class, how are you going to vote against the proposal which provides guaranteed paid sick leave to workers who have none right now? So I am cautiously optimistic that we can get this done.
It does seem like a kind of call your bluff moment, because there has been, you hear all this talk from Republicans, we're the blue collar party now. And,
right.
Liberals in the coast, you don't understand people that, work real jobs like machinists and conductors. And so this seems like a, put your money where your mouth is moment.
That's right. Put up or shut up. If you can't vote for this, to give workers today who really have hard jobs, dangerous jobs, if you can't guarantee them paid sick leave, don't tell anybody that you stand with working families. So what you have is a situation where the rail industry is doing phenomenally well, record-breaking profits, but they have been totally obstinate in preventing the unions from getting paid sick time, and that's what we've got to deal with right now.
Yeah, I got to say, I've read into this a bit, trying to find what the justification is for the lack of sick days. I mean, there's all kinds of complicated industries like, yes, please.
Well, here's the story. The reason for it is in order to increase their profits, over the last 6 years, Chris, they've reduced their workforce by 30%. Yes. They don't have any workers. You make more money that way, but you put unbelievable pressure on your employees.
There's lots of vital things like emergency rooms, for example, that fire departments that are able to manage people calling in sick. It seems like we could figure this out for the railroads as well. Senator Bernie Sanders, thank you very much.
Thank you.